Hey guys, welcome back to It's This Meets That. This is part 2 of Robot Riot. We left off at the bad guy HQ. I think we said it enough. I think suspense was killing the general and was killing us and probably killing you as well. Maybe not. We're hoping it doesn't last. And spoilers, it doesn't.
Sound less excited, bud.
I
dare you to sound less excited for me.
I thought I was like amping it up a little bit there too. I can only amp up so much. So all right, so we had this awesome line from the general there, and now we're daytime. We're daytime with the AB team as we know them as. They're not the A team. They're not quite the B team.
They're kind of at best team.
They're the at best team, the AB team. So with the AB team, and let's kind of reestablish who the AB team is. It is we've got Brock, the asshole, right?
Sure. Yep.
We got Piper, Hot Trigger Piper, who just shoots.
Yeah, also kind of an asshole.
Yeah, actually, also kind of an asshole. And then we've got Madison, who is actually also kind of an asshole too.
Yep, not great.
And then we've got Shane, who's
not an asshole.
He's an asshole because he's an idiot.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Right?
No, there's no likable characters in this movie.
No, there actually isn't at all. So we have 4 assholes walking through town, daytime. I'm gonna throw out there. So this next scene, this next moment, I must have been looking away or something.
Yeah,
and I missed this. And all I did is I came back. I remember I must have been writing something. And I looked back up and it was like happened so quick. And I was like, oh, Brock and Piper are like, they're at each other's throats right here. And Piper is like right in with a gun and everything. And I kind of missed like why. I was like, oh, I thought he reached for like her gun or something like that. I was just being like a dick. No, he was being a real dick.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what you missed was, I can't remember the exact line. This is one that I didn't write down because I was offended. But he was like, said something like, well, we don't even have that much food left, huh, darling? And then like grabs her butt. And you're like, wait, why is Brock sexually harassing Piper?
Like
anyone, the situation is bananas already. Like, how is this appropriate? Why are this is so already stressful for so many levels. I don't know. It stressed me out.
So it didn't stress me out. Well, I clearly missed it. I swear to God, I looked up, looked down, looked back up, and then I just saw Piper with she was like, don't touch me again or something like that. And I thought she was like, I thought he reached for like her gun. I don't know what happened. Honestly, I had no idea what happened.
No, but he reached for her butt, and I think she said something like, if you touch me again, I'll kill you.
Yes, then I caught that part. I was like, if you touch me again, I'll kill you. And it was like, I think he's like trying to grab her gun because he complained about not having a gun or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, do we, at this point in the movie, we're at the halfway point of the movie, do we really need to reinforce how much of an asshole this guy is?
Yeah, nope. It was already very clear. Like,
we know, so now we really need to amp the ante? Which actually we do, because then it's going to piss both of us off later on in this movie. So that happens, and so they're going at it, and Piper's like, she's like ready to, shoot him, which I wish she just did. And then Madison comes in. This is a great way to, anytime I de-escalate in a situation. So Madison just like points her big ass gun, cosplay gun, at both of them and is like, guys, take it easy.
Yeah, great de-escalation.
That is, I think if there's any way to de-escalate a situation is by pointing your gun and at two people and telling them to take it easy.
Yeah, you know what always works when people are upset? Tell them to relax.
Yes.
So now we're in another mech fight. Out of nowhere.
Yeah, and then giant mech. Boom, boom.
Oh no, another robot.
Yeah, another robot. And this thing is bigger, I think, than the previous ones we've seen, right?
I don't think so. I think
it's not. Is it the King? It's the King Kong of, right? So
no, this isn't the Mega Mech. We're not there yet.
No. Well, no. The King Kong was the one that we ran into the beginning, so it's still the same size, right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, yeah. By King Kong, you mean the regular Mech 4? Then yes. reference the model names, Russ. They went out of their way to spell them for you on computer screens.
Oh, that's right.
The least you can do is know the difference between a Mech 4 and a Spider Mech.
Right. Do we know what Mech 1 through 3 looks like? No.
No, they weren't good.
No, they weren't good. All right, so giant Mech 4 comes in. He's just shooting ammo. He's just shooting high caliber rounds, which are doing nothing. Nothing's being torn up, but whatever. They're hiding, kind of.
Yeah, finally giving me that Ed 209 that I want of just like indiscriminately firing on everything.
Yes. So they're getting shot at. I think Shane just runs away again.
Yes, he runs away again.
Yes.
To like a warehouse where he's like searching for something.
By the way, yet again another warehouse.
Yeah, exactly. Like maybe he's searching for ammo. I don't know.
Hope he's searching for questions. He kicks down a door, kind of like no big deal.
Right, like it's not a thing. The guns are the most plastic. Like the way that when he's like tossing it around on this shelf.
Oh yeah.
Like you can tell just like the way his hands touch it, like unnaturally. Like it's like a paper towel roll. like whoa, like you like jiggle.
So there's a big gunfight in the middle of the street. Brock, if I remember correctly, set the scene a little bit. Brock is hiding behind a car, pretty much crying, I think, because he's like, he doesn't have a weapon, right?
I think that sounds right. Yeah, he's whipping his machete around.
Yeah, whipping his machete around. Madison is, if I gather where the scene was set, Big Mech is like down the street, and then there's like a car that's like parallel with the street, and she's just standing next to the car, not really in cover, and she's just shooting, and Piper is also just, I think she's running around shooting as well. And then
we cut back to the bad guy HQ, right?
For that though, it's important when Shane is digging through the warehouse building. I got to call this out.
Tossing around the gun.
Yeah, when he's tossing around the quote unquote guns and stuff. So he opens up a box and he comes across basically what looks like a bad lightsaber handle.
Right. It turns out it's a hand grenade, right? At some point.
Yeah, it's a electromagnetic pulse, EMP. That's it. That's all it is.
Okay.
EMP.
Nice. Well, if you knew what it was, like there's no way that he knows what it is.
No, it just had a switch, and if I was him and I came across this, I would have been like, cool, lightsaber. Let's see how this works.
If I was a betting man, I would blow myself up. Back at the ranch, we've got...
which is, by the way, the tower. Whoa, have we talked about the tower yet?
No, we haven't. The tower comes up. It comes and goes. People talk about the tower constantly. Everyone's talking about the tower.
We'll come back to it because that's not... Okay, the tower is mentioned in the trailer. And I would just assume at this point that the bad guys are in the tower because the tower is where like they're controlling everything. They literally said in the trailer. They have not said anything about that yet in the movie.
Yeah, Wolfenstein rules apply. Like they're definitely in the tower. Like there's nothing in this movie makes any sense.
All of the bad guys are always in the tower.
Yeah. So General, unnamed general.
So yeah, does he have a? No, he does have a name.
He does have a name later, and it makes me very happy.
Yes, he does. He's got a name tag.
Yeah. And it makes me happy. So we'll get to that. But
we'll get to that.
In the meantime, he says, pull up Agent Shane on the screen, which I love. Why is he calling him Agent Shane?
Yeah. He's just a body to you.
Yeah. So I thought, but apparently not. And like the sergeant is complaining about the ethicality of what they're doing. Is ethicality a word? Ethicalness? Ethicality?
I know what you mean. So yes, it is a word.
Okay. Thank you.
Hey, man.
Yeah. It's unclear exactly what's going on, but the boss is basically just telling him, look, your job is to observe and report, Sergeant. Like, great Paul Blart shout out.
Yes, and this is definitely where the sergeant, who is one of the three people in the room, he's one of the two computer cronies there, who's just like, yeah, we're losing control of the mechs. He says this.
Right.
And the general just like, we're seeing him slowly become overconsumed with power and this whole situation.
Yep.
And he's just like, yeah, that's it.
Like,
and
cool. Cut away.
All right, man, that's it. Cool. Dramatic moment over. And we cut back to the mech battle in the streets. Yep. It must have been 7 minutes because we're back to something happening.
Yep. And you said Shane uses the lightsaber to neutralize it. I said Shane uses a dope grenade thing. We're both right.
We're both right in different ways. That's the one who wrote that. Yeah, so unbeknownst to Shane and the audience, Jared thought he would just die if he turned this thing on. I was thinking lightsaber. Shane guessed right, and it was basically an EMP, and he throws it out, and it neutralizes the mech. And then we get Brock, who's just still bitching and has done nothing, and doesn't have a weapon, and outside of his machete, he's done nothing. So
yeah. Well, and during the gunfight here too, like, I don't know if you noticed this, but it really bothered me. The gunfire never stops. Like this scene.
Oh yeah, no.
We didn't describe it very much.
No.
It's probably for the best. They got into a fight with some mechs, like they always do every 7 minutes approximately, according to Ryan Scott. And like the gunfire never stops. Like they have, I know they're like plasma weapons or whatever they're doing here, but I don't think like we've seen that they're not unlimited ammo. Clearly.
Well, no, because Shane he ran out of ammo earlier.
Right, and yet they're just wasting dozens and dozens of whatever plasma round these are,
which is doing nothing.
Right, like there are 5 people, only 4 of them have guns, and if you're listening to the background noise, the gunfire doesn't stop the whole scene. Like,
yeah,
it's just like pop, 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 pop in the background.
Is that the mech shooting now?
No, it's like it's not. They have a very distinctive sound. I don't know. It made me mad.
That's fair, man. I think we cut back to, this is the street battle on Main Street. We cut back to the HQ, the bad guy HQ.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And basically they're still losing control. They're losing control. There's 3 guys in here, and the general he's losing his brains. He's just getting a little too over crazy powered. And the 2 guys in the front there run the computers that basically tell them everything that they just repeat back to the general.
Right.
They're just like, we're losing control.
Couple things here. So for one, this is when I noticed the computer guys look so young, and they're all sergeants. Like sergeant is not the lowest rank. I'm no military expert, but like
me neither. But private is.
Yeah, and these guys are like 22 looking.
Right? I was gonna say like 15, but yeah, 22 is close enough. Sure.
I'm being very generous.
I know.
Yeah, let's say these are career military guys in their early 20s.
Yeah.
And like doesn't make any sense at all that they're being addressed as sergeant. And then they're talking about like, oh, check on that other soldier, which I think you called out, of like letting us, like they're definitely letting us know someone in the group is a robot. And like for sure immediately it's obviously Blake. Like, oh, it's definitely that guy. Like the way that like then they come in on Blake saying like he's leading them to this vacant warehouse. Like, because it cuts back right then, right?
They cut back to the street, and like, I think everyone's just like, at that point, all the humans in the street are like, "Hey, where's Blake?" And it's like,
yeah, guess. Doing weird robot stuff.
Yeah, he's not around because he's not around.
Yeah.
And then there was this really fucking goofy, awkward moment where everyone's like, "Where's Blake?" It was like a shitty sitcom. Everyone's like, "Hey, buddy, where's Blake?" And then they just cut to Blake awkwardly standing behind a corner. He's like, "I'm right here."
Yeah. Well, and that's when this one I go super shout out number 1 to him being a robot, and she goes, "Over here, guys."
Yeah.
Like he just says it so weirdly. So Blake beckons them over to this empty warehouse, and immediately everyone's like, "Blake, what's going on? Like, why are you a psycho?" And then Shane punches him in the face.
Yeah. Well, was it Shane or was it Blake? Or was it? I thought it was. Well, yeah. Either way, it doesn't matter. Who gives a shit? Yeah. Someone punched him in the face.
Yeah. Shane punched him in the face, and the robot's like, best line, "I'm not wired for combat like you are."
Yeah, and it's like,
I was like, oh, because you're a robot. Good wired pun.
Yeah, because you're a robot. No one.
Because he talks about Shane's accusing him of trying to duck out of a situation, which Shane has done.
No, it's Brock. It was definitely Brock who punched him. Then I don't think Shane punched him.
No, man, it was because Brock at some point is like off doing weird Brock stuff.
I thought he was in there. I thought he was the one who punched him because he was like, Brock was always the one who's calling people out for being cowards and like.
Yeah, no, Brock and Madison got separated again at this point briefly.
Oh, no, you're right. I'm sorry, you're right.
And Shane and Piper are in the warehouse with with new guy Blake, And that's when Shane decks him and is like, hey, man, you weren't out there fighting with us. And we're like, wait, Shane, you've done that twice already.
Yeah. So where you going with this one, bud?
Yeah. And then making a weird wired pun is like, all right, Ryan Scott, I see you. And then this is when Piper's like, guys, stop fighting. Like, I'll feed you to the mechs myself. And I'm like,
no, wait. So everyone was in that room, by the way.
Wait, when? Oh, no, they showed up after, though. They showed up after he punched him.
Okay. Well, either way, they all end up in that room. They all end up
You're
in
right.
this yet again, another fucking empty warehouse.
The whole town is an empty warehouse, more or less.
Pretty much. And somehow these robots don't want to get inside the warehouse.
Yeah, no humans allowed in any of them.
Yeah, the robots, mechs have no idea how to get inside them because they're too big, probably. Maybe you just make, well, even the smaller
spider ones.
Yeah, spider ones, like, they can't open a door.
Maybe.
Anyway, so Blake gets punched. We get the little wire combat. And then you remember, like, there was like a body in the corner that was like all bones?
Yeah.
Okay. Madison walks over, grabs the gun, and is like, whatever, well, now you're armed, whatever, and did she toss that to Blake? No, to Brock. She gave it to Brock. Okay. Blake. Yeah. I think she gave it to Brock, but she picks up the gun of this dead body. By the way, all right, so they're in this empty warehouse, and there's a dead body in a corner, yet again, all like it's got armor on it, right? Like body armor.
Yep.
And I was like, I called out, I was like, how long has this body been in there where it's been decayed down to the bones?
Oh,
in an empty warehouse.
Yeah. Months.
I don't months. Do you think months? Is that all it takes?
Oh, definitely, yeah. I think you rot pretty quick. If you're just if you're exposed to the elements, like, you don't rot in a coffin that quick because you're in a little box. If you just, like, if someone left your body in a room, you'd be boned before you know it.
I mean, I always look to you for your professional opinion on most things. Like, hey, how do I run away from a mech robot that's shooting at me? Hey, stand up straight and be as narrow as possible.
Yep.
I look to Jared.
Yep.
I'm wondering if I come across a skeleton bones with some type of important equipment that I need. Hey, how long do you think this body was here?
Oh, body decomposition expert.
Do we?
I've read enough body farm novels that are loosely based on reality.
Okay, I'm not going to pretend that I know how long it takes.
Yeah. Let's just say months, Russ.
Months?
Yeah.
That seems...
It's just sitting there in Oklahoma, the middle of Oklahoma.
In good old mod
exposed to
Oklahoma.
the elements. Yeah, exactly.
It's in a warehouse. It's not exposed to anywhere.
Exposed to the warehouse elements.
In Oklahoma, there are no elements. Except tornadoes. That's it.
Yeah, the air is dry and dusty, and I don't know, man.
I wish you'd done your homework on this one.
I did.
If anyone out there knows about body decomposition.
Yeah, it's thismeatstat@gmail.com. Tell us how long it takes a body to rot in a warehouse.
In Oklahoma. Where the weather is pretty much temperate. I don't think they go through. Do they have winter out there? Not really.
Oh, they definitely have winter. No, Oklahoma's not like Texas. Even Texas has winter, but.
Well, yeah. I mean, Oklahoma's
it's more in the middle than you think. They get snow.
Dude, I know where it is.
Well, all right. Then what are you talking about? Oklahoma's temperate.
Yeah, I know where it is. Well, act like it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Give me some Oklahoma facts, bro.
Yeah, talk like you know what you're talking about. We did talk about how I've never been there. So, yeah. Exactly. Okay.
Yeah, don't tell me how fast a body's going to rot in a warehouse in Oklahoma. Leave all of this in.
Absolutely. I don't know. We'll find out. Oh, my God. So
I'll die on this hill.
Yeah, no, I'm going to do some research after this. Anyway, so we go back to the bad guy HQ.
Yep.
And this is where shit's gone crazy at this point. So mechs are offline.
Rogue. Yep.
We've got the two engineers in the front there with the general. They're talking tech talk.
Yeah, but all the tech talk was great. Yeah, I mean I feel like they did a lot of weird jargon that I loved, but also I loved how the sergeant's major gripe here is so this is when I think you're getting to the it's beautiful, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the major gripe that the defecting sergeant here has is, it's criminal, sir. These mechs belong to the United States government, and you've turned them into an AI army we can't even communicate with. It sounds like his problem isn't with killing all of these people needlessly. It's because it's government property and you're abusing it.
Yes. So we have another asshole in the camp here. So,
and then
go ahead.
Our soon-to-be hero sergeant here, Peterson. This is Peterson that we're talking about.
Yep.
If we mentioned before. I love how he just goes, have you even considered what happens if they breach Mechwood? I was like, wait, this place is called Mechwood, and so now it's Jurassic Park.
Yes. And that is that's the point where I think everyone, I think you and I are the only two people who watch this, but we're like,
what is Mechwood?
So this is Mechwood?
This is the first time. Well, this is the first time we hear the word Mechwood.
Mechwood, yes.
It's actually enraging because you're like, wait, the rest of this movie has been so lazy. At the very least, I thought they could have given us a good name for this place. Instead, it's called Mechwood.
So all right, so this is where we get our sergeant guy. He stands up to kind of pushes back, blah blah blah. We get all this stuff. This is also the moment where we had some. So this is where the 4-star general here starts losing his shit. He's getting so enraged that and now he's so connected with the mechs and the AI and this whole group that these things that he whatever. He not only says that no, I know it's right. I speak their language.
Yeah,
I am their father. It's just stupid. But what also pisses me off is now all of a sudden he's got this weird Southern accent.
Yes. No, I called it out. There's another point later on too where it's even worse, and I called it out.
Yeah, and it's like, what the hell? All right, so then the sergeant, he's like, no, this isn't cool, blah, blah. And then the general's just like, get him out of here. He's got him out of here. And then do other random people come in and drag him out? I actually didn't even see that. Are there actually other people in the room?
Yes, guards. There's a guard that comes in and drags him out. And
shit. So technically, there's 5 people in this room.
Yes. And while the guard is dragging him out, he's shouting, "I'm a coding engineer."
Yeah, classic line. Yeah, we know you are. There's another one to replace you. Get out of here. There's a million of you. Move on.
Why would you say coding engineer? What a weird. That's not in a phrase. And then I love how as soon as he gets thrown out, the little spider droids are there surrounding him. They should have killed him in seconds.
Right.
And instead, he lets out the most the best actor in this whole movie, for sure. Knock off Zach Woods here. A scream for the ages.
And
he survives.
Oh, yeah. And
he's totally fine.
Did you catch they had a quick spider robot cam view?
No, they didn't show anything. Oh, you mean when they zoomed in right at the end there? Yeah.
Well, no. I don't know. Before they were tracking him, they're like, oh, he's not armed. There was a whole thing about him not being. Yeah, there was a whole thing about him not being armed that they didn't just unload on him. So that was kind of a reason why they didn't unload on him. But it was and what? So what? They just bunch of spider roaches kind of beat the shit out of him, and be like, hey, don't come around here anymore.
My bad. Apologies, Ryan Scott. Russ just cleared it up. The movie makes sense now.
No, just that part does, but barely. All right, so the AB team, right? They are now they're in another warehouse.
Sure. Right? Always in a warehouse, yeah.
Always. When in doubt, be in a warehouse. So they're in another empty warehouse. We got, I think it's the entire crew now, right? We got the 4, the 4 is together, right? So we got Madison, Brock the Jock, Piper, and Shane, right?
Yep, they're all together now. What's up the ante?
Oh, wait, and Blake. Blake is there. I'm sorry. So we get the 5, right? There's 5 of them still together, I think, right?
Yep. Blake's still
up in the ante. And there are a lot of questions being asked in this scene, and then there's a lot of answering questions with questions.
Yep.
I now have questions.
Oh yeah, well, I would if I cared more.
That's true. Yeah, I guess that's true too. It felt like an episode of Whose Lines Is It Anyways, where it's just is this a sketch right now? Are they just
yeah, who's on second?
Yeah, why are we here? What is going to be? What's that thing? What is?
And then I love out of nowhere they're just oh, there's a massive manhole.
Well, they came up with a plan, right? Didn't they come up with a bit of a plan here, where they're going to split up? Whatever.
I don't even think they came up with a plan yet. I think they were just They just like randomly cut to like, look, there's a massive manhole.
Yeah, because Blake and what's her face and Piper were up on the top of the roof, and then no, I'm sorry, Blake and Piper and Brock for some odd reason were on the top of the roof, right?
Yep.
And then it was Blake, Madison, and Shane, right?
Well, so and this is where like I think they pan to the manhole weirdly, then they pan to splitting up, because I wrote down the quote from our friend Brock here when Blake goes, guys, I don't think we should split up.
Yeah. Right.
And Brock goes, well, nobody asked you, bitch. I was like, all right, well.
It's right. I covered it as like, oh yeah, their plan is split up. All the humans are like, let's split up. And then the robot's like, you know what? I was like, at this point, I was like, Blake, who might be a robot, is like, that sounds like a bad idea. I was like, I think tactically speaking, why would you split up?
Yeah,
what do you think? What do you think about this situation?
I think the plan is going badly. I think splitting up is probably a bad idea. So I agree with Blake, but I also have no reason to trust Blake. Like I think Brock's probably right that nobody asked Blake.
That's a good point. And then but then they've got a plan of like, well, they spot the tower at this point too, right?
Right.
And they get this. So hold on. Let's paint the scene a little bit more because there's a lot going on here. So this is a building of like thought apparently, where like, okay, they spot this tower, which is like the tower where the bad guys are. We know this, but
right. Wolfenstein Tower.
There's
Castle Wolfenstein.
Right. Castle Grayskull. Yeah, whatever. It's always a tower, right? It's a big thing. They're assuming this is where it is, right? Because I don't think anyone's told them that that's where they need to go, but let's head towards makes sense, right?
Peterson, no. They have Peterson right now, don't they?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
You're right.
They don't have Peterson yet until they split. So
right.
They're like, hey, there's a tower. Let's send two towards a tower, and then I don't know where the other ones were going.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I was like, where are the other three going? And so they decided to split up.
Yeah, and this is when Blake gets called out for being like a weirdo.
So wait, hold on. What part are you calling him out on?
No, I'm gonna say in the background the whole time they've been talking this whole scene, like we haven't called it out yet, but they've been talking this whole scene about how they don't trust the new guy. Like in the background the whole time everyone's like, oh wait, that's kind of a weird thing. Well, Blake seems a little off. Right. Wait, I don't know if I trust that guy. Like they're explicitly saying how much they don't trust this guy, and then they're like, out of nowhere, he's like, I don't think we should split up, and everyone's like, whoa, nobody asked you.
Yeah,
like it's a shock to them that he's not part of the group.
Yeah. So they come with this half-baked plan. Two are heading towards the tower. Three are I actually don't know where the other three are heading, but the other three include. I think the other three are Shane, Madison, and Blake, right?
I think they were going to look for the kill switch.
Oh,
right? Have they heard about it? No, they haven't heard about it.
No, they didn't know. They haven't heard about that.
So I don't know. They're not doing anything. They're just like wandering around aimlessly.
I totally forgot where they're heading. Either way, so there's this giant manhole cover, by the way, in the middle of town, which Piper's like, is that the middle of town?
Yeah, right after they say, there's a massive manhole.
I wonder what's in there. Probably a bigger mech. I don't know. Why would it be a massive? Anyways.
Well, and that's when Shane goes, maybe it leads out of here. And I'm like, Shane, you idiot.
You're a dope. You're stupid.
Yeah, you were the main character for 5 minutes and you blew it.
Yeah. What leads out of here is getting through the barrier. Everyone knows that because you can see through it, you moron.
Right. Exactly.
All right, so they split up, and then we've got. So that's right. Now I think about the sexual harassment thing. So we got Brock and Piper together, which makes no sense, and then we've got Shane, Madison, and Blake. Blake is definitely a robot.
Correct. And related to that, this is the first time that I realized, and I wrote it down. We've been complaining about the robots going crazy and going rogue and whatever else. Like, if the robots are sentient now, what's their motivation? Like, this is the first time it dawned on me, like, wait a second. If we're saying that the robots are now the problem, why are they doing any of this?
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't make any sense.
That's a good point. I actually don't want to think too hard about that one.
Really unravels the whole movie.
Because that would be a whole other episode, and I just don't want to go down that path. All right, so then they're broken up. They're split up, right? They're doing their own missions. Still, I forget what the three were doing. So they're on the three, Blake, Shane, and Madison, right? They're like hanging on an alleyway, and then like, did you? This was weird to me. So so Blake just, I think sure you caught this, but Blake like just runs like ahead of Shane and Shane and Madison are like hiding, taking cover, and Blake just runs out of the alley and into like the main, like another street or whatever.
Yeah,
Remember this? And he's just standing there, and he's like, "Oh, it's fine. Everything's fine. It's clear." And meanwhile, Shane's just kind of like, "I don't know. It sounds like something's coming. Get back over here. What are you doing? Like, there's something coming." And he's like, "No, it's fine." And then Blake runs back into the alley and takes cover of them. And then this massive, massive mech just walks down the street where Blake just was.
Right.
So my problem with this is at that point, and the characters in the movie don't know that Blake is a robot.
Oh, they definitely think he's a robot.
Oh, you think so? Oh, I don't think they. No, I think they're stupid. I think they have no fucking clue.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they don't trust Blake one way or another. I don't.
Well,
think
they don't trust him, but they like. There's like you have to have figured out by this point. Like at that moment, like he comes running back and like, dude, I would have looked at him and like if I was Shane, I would like looked at him like, all right, man, hey, and I would have looked at Madison and like, wink, wink, put your gun to his head and get ready to shoot.
Well, as stupid
dude,
as
you were just out there. And you said no one was coming, and there's this mech that is at least 5, 6, 7 stories tall.
Yeah. And as stupid as Shane is, he does say that. Remember, like right when he comes back to the little hiding area, Shane goes, "You idiot, there's a giant mech over there." So Brock and Piper.
The two, why would they, again, the group, like, yeah, let's let them pair
Great
up.
pairing.
Great pairing.
Fine wine in a stinky cheese. I'll let you guess who.
I won't. Go ahead. So what do we got?
Yeah, they're investigating another empty warehouse room.
Yet again.
That there's a blood trail leading to, just like the time Shane already did this.
Yeah, we went through this once already. It's the same blood trail.
I think it's the same blood trail, actually. And then come to find out, there's our wounded friend here, Peterson. How is he not dead?
Yeah, Sergeant Peterson, who, not of Chicago PD, but Sergeant Peterson, who got attacked by the nicest, cutest little Spider-Mans.
A couple of scratches. We cut back to the other group. In the surveillance camera filter, did you pick up on this?
Oh, yeah.
They do a quick split, and the surveillance footage is bonkers. Like it looks like an Instagram filter of surveillance footage. Yeah, it's bananas though. Like why? Like they like put a little timestamp on it and write like secret footage or something. So dumb. Sorry, go on. Then we're at the interrogation.
Yeah, and then we cut back to Brock being a total dick as usual, interrogating right. Sergeant Peters.
Right, which is when we get the big dick reveal, as I call it.
Oh yeah, what is that? What do we got?
So this is when we get the general's name finally for the first time.
Does he say it?
Yep. When Peterson says, I was taking orders from General Dix.
Obviously, clearly, I saw it on the name tag. I didn't hear it. I must have been.
Oh no, this is the first time I've heard it. Was from Peterson saying, "This is General Dix."
Oh, there we go.
Now, hear me out here. Here's the conspiracy. I think our friend here, Sergeant Peterson.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it this way: Dick. Another slang term for Dick is Peter. Peter's son, Dick's son.
Yes.
Sergeant Peterson
is
actually General
out of
Dick's
here.
Son.
I am trying not to swear, but holy smokes!
I'm gonna flip this table over right now.
I'm gonna dude, my brain just exploded out through my nose. Are you kidding me with that?
Yep. Now it all makes sense. Jet fuel doesn't melt steel beams, Russ. Yeah.
Sometimes, sometimes I just think you're not paying attention, but I think most times you are, and I'm not. That's awesome.
I'm playing 5D chess, bud.
Whew, that is, yeah.
Well, and to make another connection, if you want to talk about things with weird timelines and people's sons
don't
and
even
stuff,
go deeper. Don't even.
well,
Go ahead.
because in like the
Go
very
deeper.
next line, in the very
Yeah.
next line,
What do you got?
this is when he finally says from the trailer, "This all ends when we get terminated."
Oh boy.
I think this is a sneaky John Connor reference.
Get fucked.
Oh, I wish. We also get, this is where we also finally get the kill switch.
Okay, let's get back into it here. Okay, so
this one scene gives us all the exposition we need. We get all the dicks stuff. We get the terminated stuff. We get there's a kill switch on the outer perimeter fence. Like, of course there is. Of course there is.
Right. Sergeant Peterson, not of Chicago PD, is the most important character from this point forward.
Yes, for sure.
He's provided the most exposition, the most information. He's a coding engineer, as we know.
So
now where are we?
That scene just ends.
That just ends.
See you, Sergeant Peterson. Like, now we go back to the other warehouse.
Another maybe different warehouse. Madison, Shane, and Blake. They don't know he's an android yet.
No, not yet. They just don't like him.
Yeah, we do. He's just an asshole like the rest of everyone else. He's more of an asshole of everyone else. So
he's more of an asshole. So everyone's like, he must be a robot.
Sounds about right. So they come across a warehouse full of mechs that's just, they're all shut down. They're not doing anything right. And they're finding stuff. Yay, and a computer. And a computer that's just like, I don't know, like an old Tandy that's just like, sitting in the back, like collecting dust and spider webs. It's like,
yeah,
that's weird. Isn't this like a new program? Like, what's going on? Oh, now this is all going to start making sense from what the interview with the director,
Right. Like,
which makes no sense.
Luckily, there's a Project Mechwood logo on the computer screen so that I know what I'm looking at. So I wrote my complaint here in the notes of, this is the most incongruous thing I've seen. Like, nothing in this timeline makes sense. Like, this is when we get into the ad.
Yes.
We're watching a video about this perfect utopia where robots are servants for humans and making everyone's lives better. And now it makes sense. Now that we've read the Ryan Scott interview.
It does not make any sense if you just watch the movie.
Right. It didn't make sense at all until I read the Ryan Scott interview afterwards.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, this was some kind of utopia, perhaps. And that's what also made me think.
Hold on. I'm sorry. Whatever. I'll ask the stupid question. So did the robots take over? Like, I watched the movie and I don't even know. Did the robots take over, or did the 4-star general take over?
The general took over, I think. And that's why, like, it makes way more sense if this is on an island. Like, having this in the middle of the country makes zero sense.
Yeah. No, not at all.
Like, someone would have discovered this between then and now. Well,
there's a barrier, though. Some kind of barrier.
Yeah, but I think that's what you were getting at, of like, what happened between then and now? Who's running the show here? Has the general been doing this? Has the AI? It seems like the AI has newly been acting up in like the last few days.
Right. So, but at the same time, it seems like it's been acting up since the 60s.
Right.
Yeah, this is stupid. This is like they're trying.
I have way more questions now than anything else. Like, to be fair, like, I don't think they didn't really have like modern technology though. Like, they didn't have like cell phones and things, right? Like, the robots were the modern technology. So like, maybe this is taking place in the 60s or 70s or something. So, but also, why is this computer showing an advertisement?
Yeah, why is this computer playing this?
Honestly, I'm glad that this is what the movie became.
I kind of was too, because I was like, I mean, if this continues with nothing else, it's like, all right, now I'd be kind of really annoyed. Now it's just like, oh, this is just like a confusing fuckery of plot. It just makes no sense.
I think it's just unexplainable.
Yeah, I think it just makes any sense. But it was also like, so they're at the computer and they click the video, they watch the video, and like makes the audience go like, oh. And
right. Oh, thanks for explaining the whole movie.
Yeah. Oh. I guess I get it. And then they're like, oh, look at all these other things. And there's interview videos with each recruit.
Well, before that, right before that, that's when they put up the Mechwood logo again and give you the slogan, "Welcome to Mechwood, where the future meets you." And I don't know why, but that slogan just enraged me because it makes no sense. It's barely a sentence. Like, I don't understand how any of this works.
Yeah, because that means, yeah. Again, I'm not going to think too much about that because it makes no sense.
Then they've got everyone's real world audition tape, like loaded up conveniently right after the ads. And like, I love the little bit of back character we get from each of the people. Like Brock, the quotes from Brock are great. Like, oh, I thought it'd be pretty badass to be part of something so elite. I don't dick around when it comes to training. Like, and then like, this is the point where, you know, again, we're smarter than the movie is, but no one questions that there's no audition tape for Blake. Like, what a weird, you can tell that this whole movie...
He's still in a room? He's still in a room with him, isn't he?
Yeah, he's still right there, yeah.
Yeah, right. That's right. They go through all four of them, right?
Conveniently looped after each other. What an afterthought this whole scene was for the movie. That it made me angry of like, oh boy, no one's going to get it. We're almost done. How do we explain this in 5 minutes or less?
All right, so we move on. So, they find all this backstory. As audience members, find this backstory. It still makes no sense. It makes no sense whatsoever. Why was it 56 better? So we go back to the HQ. I had nothing important to say there because nothing really happened there.
A couple of good quotes there of like, bringing the band back together. I say that a lot. Shout out to the boys in the band. You know who you are. You don't listen to this. But yeah, bringing the band back together really made me smile. I'm glad that General Dick said that. And then I also love how quickly Zach Woods is like, fake Zach Woods, sorry, it like turns on the whole gang and is like, nope, I'm a traitor now. Like, that guy's gone off his rocker. And the other guy is like totally on board still. Like, he's somehow bought in on this. The other sergeant, I don't think we ever learned his name.
No, he's just sergeant.
Yeah, and then we flip back to the gang again.
So we're back to the AB gang.
Yep.
And then, so this is when, so now they regroup, right? Because now we've got, I guess I misspoke, actually. They weren't together yet. They all regroup because it's now...
All five of them.
6.
Who's 6?
Peterson.
Oh, right, Peterson. Yeah.
So Piper and Brock, who were interrogating Peterson, who gave up all the Sergeant Peterson, they meet up with Madison, Shane, and Blake.
Right.
Right. And then immediately,
very abruptly,
like it was just like, hey guys, what's up? And then abruptly, it's just kind of like a weird cut where it just cut to Peterson, be like, hey. I programmed that guy. And then it just like cuts randomly to Blake just running down the street.
Yeah. He specifically says he's with the general. I coded him. You're like, wait.
But then they catch him.
Well, then Blake like flips the quick kill switch on all of his friends.
Well, no. Well, before that, like they go after him and then they just like catch him. Like it's big. Yeah, it's like it's no big deal. They just like catch him. Like they got him in an alley, I guess, or whatever. The one of no alleys that have no escape route in this fucking ghost town.
Yep.
And Blake's got a kill switch that goes to all their chips in the back of their necks.
Like, why?
Yeah, and it's
How?
so weird. And it's just kind of like, okay, you just and he just hits it. And there's a funny shot of 5 people just falling over.
Right. Except for our buddy Peterson. He's sergeant.
So then it's like, okay, our 4 friends are down. Peterson's still up. Sergeant Peterson is still up.
Getting into a scuffle.
He gets in a scuffle with Blake.
The robot.
Blake the robot. And I don't remember how this goes. And then
like,
guess
wait,
what?
Why can't Blake the robot
just
gouge out his eyes?
Because he tries and he's got him. It's just like isn't he a mech? And this fight should be over.
Yes. It doesn't make any sense at all. Exactly.
You're done.
And then the general gets his broadcast going.
Well, Patterson first. Patterson grabs the machete, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So this whole struggle is going on. Somehow Patterson breaks free of the eye gouge and grabs the machete from...
Right. Yep. Stabs him through the old underthroat.
Yep, underthroat. Takes, gives Blake there a good run for the money. And Blake is down. Patterson stands up. There's cameras all over the place in this whole town. And Patterson basically just tells off the general, right?
Right. And the general is coming in with lines like, but life has a way of circling back around, doesn't it? And you're like, wait, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I don't know what that means. Like, what is that?
It means nothing. But then that's when we get our hero Peterson here.
I'll let you deliver this one.
Yeah. I think you're going to find out what kind of variables you're working with. The humankind. What an awful callback to every awful line in this movie so far.
So Peterson then is just like, guess what, General? The team is awake. And he flips the switch. The team wakes up. And then there's like this crazy, stupid shootout that between some baby robots and the team. Yep. And it felt like they were like 5 feet away from each other, and they all shot, and no one got hit.
That sounds right.
Okay. We go back to HQ. General is pissed. He's like, you know what? Other guy that I have left, ready the big guy. Ready a big weapon here. The old X-22.
Yeah. And then this is when Peterson is like, sir, it looks like he removed all of their coding devices, because this is when Peterson starts. They haven't cut to it yet, but Peterson's like starting to remove their chips.
Yes, because the chips in the back of the neck were giving them vitals, and you start seeing them coming offline. And it cuts to the AB team, Sans Blake, and he's like, yeah, you got to get those chips out of your head. And somehow he's got this tool that pulls the chips out of the back of the neck. It seems super painful.
Disorienting for some reason. Everyone's voice gets really low.
Yeah, it was really funny, actually. I was like, this is kind of funny. So he's pulling all the chips out of the back of the neck. Nothing really happens. He's more exploratory. He's like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. We got to go get the Titan. The Titan will help us get out of this whole situation or something like that, or we can get out of here.
Yeah, we're rushing towards the end at this point.
Yeah, because I kind of want to get through it. So then we bounce back through the HQ.
Oh, I didn't mean us. I meant the movie.
Oh, the movie too, but I feel like I'm amped up now, get through this last 20 minutes. So then we go back to the HQ, and we got our general, we got our one engineer there now, and he's just like, we're losing signals with all the recruits because Peterson's pulling all the chips out.
Yeah, which I love. He goes, looks like he removed all their coding devices. And I was like, what? Why would you say that?
So, yeah.
Why would you phrase it that way?
So the general's been in his room for, I don't know how long, but he's been doing this whole thing for a very long time. And what really kind of now, I was pissed off at a lot of things this week, but this pissed me off about him is just like, all of a sudden he was just Mr. Questions again. I hate that. Like, what's going on? Have you not figured this? Like, how has he not figured this out? Like,
doesn't make any sense. Yeah, and then
angry. I'm angry with this movie at this point.
No, that's fair, because then also at the headquarters here, General Dix starts talking to Blake. Blake gets a communication in, and you're like, wait, I thought Blake was pretty dead.
Yeah, as he should have been.
At this point, he's not, apparently, and it makes me have so many questions about how any of these robots work. But it's also kind of treated as a throwaway where General Dix is just kind of, well, thanks for serving your country. You did a good job. And then Blake's like, okay, cool. And then General Dix promises him that he's going to rebuild him even better and stronger and whatever else. And is Blake a sympathetic character now? I don't know. Then we come back to the gang again.
Yeah, so we're back with the AB team here.
Yeah, and this is when Peterson is explaining how some of your memories may be lost permanently, and you might be grateful for that if you're a piece of shit.
The setup was that you would have a clear mind in the field, but they also just want you to know the truth.
Right.
That doesn't make any sense.
Dumb.
I'm pretty sure I actually just wrote blah, 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 blah. Oh, there's a kill switch. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, there's a bunker. And blah, 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 blah. And yeah. Peterson was doing some coding.
Well, and this is where, like, when Peterson starts talking about how you need to find the kill switch in the bunker, I was like, wait a second. Last time you said the kill switch was on the perimeter. Like, why? Like, is the bunker on the perimeter also? Or like a lot of unanswered questions, because then we immediately go back to bad guy HQ.
Back to the HQ, and then there was like an awkward, like, the general's now at a computer screen, and the computer screen just says in giant letters, bank. And he's just like...
They're in the bank.
Right.
our band of heroes is in the bank.
In the bank, and it just says bank, and he's like,
Why is there a bank?
And he's like, I think they all must be in the bank. I was like, yeah, why would it be a bank? It's an empty building.
Yep.
And then there's some stupid shots of mechs lurking through the streets. They don't look very good. And then some of the mechs start shooting out cameras or something like that, I think.
Yeah, they start turning on the security cameras, which, like, it's about time.
Yeah.
So then we get back to the gang. This happens so quickly and so hilariously.
Yes.
That I love it. Out of nowhere, like we're in a warehouse again, because we always are, and they send Piper out of the warehouse, rolls outside trying to initiate a conflict with this mech, and gets wrecked.
Just lit up.
It's sad.
And it's sad, and it's also, once we find out what happens, we're going to get to it.
No context, nothing, no explanation, no.
She's just in the middle of the street going across, and there's a big mech, and it just lights her up.
Shoots her probably 40 times.
Finally, this mech has a name. Finally, this mech can hit something. And this is the moment.
Everyone goes, oh no. And then no one ever talks about Piper again.
Nope, she's gone. That's it. I was like, I thought it'd be a little more like, oh man. No, that's it. She was such a main character. She was from the beginning of the movie.
And then, like, while the mech is murdering Piper, this is when we get the data.
It's so good. The 4-star general screaming about how
General Dix, how he's just talking about collecting data.
How important data is. I don't know if that's just, it's over the top. Yeah.
Of course it's over the top. Nothing makes sense anymore. So,
and then he does like a crazy, goofy laugh that's like kind of over the top, selling the crazy villain thing. Like he's definitely lost his mind. And it's like, but there's been no inclination of like him losing his mind. No. There's been no inclination of like, we've known they've been there for a very long time, but like there's no sense of like how long they've been there and like why he'd be losing his mind or like.
Right. And like why is the remaining sergeant not like, why is he still obeying this crazy general?
Yes. And then the team kind of starts gelling a bit at this point, which is weird. So Piper's dead.
Right.
And they're
dead,
like,
no one cares.
And now they're like, there's no one cares. No one even was just, oh no. Shane's like, Piper.
Right.
He
for
said,
like 2 seconds.
Yeah. And it's like, all right, immediately they are now moving as a coherent team. All of a sudden they've got all this communication. Mostly they sounded like a bunch of paintballers who had watched some Call of Duty and were like,
yep.
And then,
well, this is when we get like the X-22 prototype has never been activated.
Oh boy.
Like, yeah. And then this is where we get General Dix. This is when I first really noted. I kind of thought there was like a weird Southern thing when you said it.
Yes.
And then this is the first time that it was for sure. Cause he was like, I didn't realize you wanted to join Peterson out in the field, boy. Like, and then right afterwards he goes, it's time we test out our full capabilities. And I was like, wait, that's not the same accent at all. Why would you? And this is also when we uncover that the manhole is X-22.
Yep. So then
we get a nice wake up, big boy, from a sensual whisper from the general.
I forgot.
Yeah, wake up, big boy. As we see the manhole come to life.
I think I was writing too many notes at the same time. So oddly though, AB team is back at the first building.
Sure, probably.
Well, it's important because like they get back to the same building. So it's Shane, who's alive now at this point. Shane, Madison, and Brock, right?
Yep.
Yeah, because they're still alive. And Peterson. And Peterson does this thing where he like apparently has the keys to the Humvee. They came across this Humvee in the beginning. I think we mentioned it. And then they're going back to the same building that Piper and Shane had found at the very beginning that had the padlock. This is where the padlock comes around.
Okay.
Door is still padlocked. Brock walks up to it, and they still just walk right into it. Giant manhole covered, revealed. X-22. He is just a mega mech, basically.
Yep. Ginormous. Yep. And then immediately cut away again to the gang, who are discovering the Titan project finally.
Yes, which is in this weird empty building from the beginning. Peterson knows where it is, though. He's like, oh yeah, here's the bank safe, which is why they're in the bank. Bank safe that is oddly pointing down into the floor, and they climb down there.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden they're a team and they're like clear. They're starting using like communication like you would as a team, I guess, in military.
Sure.
And then they come across like basically a leftover Iron Man 2 suit, which is like you get in it and fly it around or do whatever you want.
Yeah, bulky Iron Man costume. I love how they're arguing about, first Madison goes, what do we do with it? And Peterson just goes, like, it's obvious. Well, you get in it. And then
obviously
you get a quick no from Brock. Brock complains about how
no one steps in anything. Brock the entire time is just like, you're a coward, blah, blah, blah. And finally at the end,
he's like, hell no, I'm not good. I don't trust machines. Yeah. And then it's like really twisting Shane's arm because it's immediately after Brock says no, Shane goes, all right, I'll do it. Like he's acting like it's you're the second person to talk.
Yeah. Like
no one's putting this on you.
Yeah. I mean, just get in the thing and make it happen, you know? And then they find a whole locker full of like new guns and weapons and stuff like that.
Yep. And that's when they go, let's go find the kill switch. And then Peterson goes, leave that to me. You guys go give him hell. And you're like, wait a second. We were trying to go get the Titan project because we thought that was what we needed in order to get to the kill switch. Like you made it seem like we needed that in order to navigate to the kill switch location. And Peterson's just like, no. You guys go do your thing. Like go fight out, like go be a distraction. Yeah. I'll go find the kill switch.
Yeah. And then, so this is we're back in HQ here.
Yep. And then this is what I love. Like it opens with General Dix just going, Peterson. Peterson's the new Newman.
Yeah, totally. And this comes back to your whole thing right here where he's got his line right here, right? Where he says like, I guess it's my new family versus my bastard son.
Exactly.
Oof.
Right?
Mind blown.
I'm just saying, Peterson is Dick's son.
I'm sold on it. I'm all in. All right, so and then what?
So at this point, the X-22 is active. We're basically in Pacific Rim now.
The X-22 is big as all hell.
Yeah, it's a real big robot. But I love Madison. Within 2 seconds, just like Piper's death, they treat Madison's death like it's nothing. Like.
Right, and it's like, so Madison and Brock are in the middle of the street. They're kind of defending off the X-22, right? And it's like, and then,
goes, oh shit!
Yeah, and just gets
burned alive,
like toasted. So X-22's got a flamethrower and just lights her up and just like cooks her alive.
Yeah, hilarious.
So she's gone. So now we're left with Brock and Shane. Yeah. Shane's in the little, Iron Man 2 throw off, mech suit.
In case you haven't noticed, all of the women have died very quickly and inexplicably, and no one cares about it at all. Like Ryan Scott has a problem with women characters.
Yes, and no one at the very end is like cares at all. Even Shane was like, "Oh, Piper," and at the very end, it's like there's no conversation about how she died.
Yeah, and Madison gets burned alive in front of them.
Yes,
like. It's a really horrifying way to die.
Yeah.
and no one seems. And Brock says, "Hey, over here, you motherfucker!"
Yeah,
to the robot.
Even someone who had met within like 3 hours, has still been like, "Oh my god," and I probably would have vomited, and I'd have been like,
"Definitely,
oh my god." Oh. I didn't know you. I don't know if you were a good person. You didn't seem like a good person. Whatever, but still, oh my god.
You were somebody's daughter.
I knew you for at least 3 hours, and no one just shakes it off.
And then they show the scale of the Titan next to the X-22, and it's absurd. Like this is when our hero Shane, who's been a main character here and there when it feels like it.
He's just kind of there.
He's just kind of there, and the X-22 is ridiculous. Like it's 100 times the size of the Titan, right? And like then out of nowhere, the X-22 starts killing the mech force. Like I don't know, like I'm speeding through this because the movie is speeding through this.
No, and then there's also hold on. So all the other drone mechs or whatever are attacking the X-22 though.
Well, because the X-22 started attacking them.
Oh, right. So yeah, so the X-22 and all the mechs around are like kind of like in this battle against each other, right?
Yeah, it's like, oh, I hope this is the final climactic battle. Luckily, it is.
Thank God.
Like, thank God this is finally over. And immediately, the X-22 makes zero. Sorry, not the X-22. The Titan suit makes zero impact. Just like gets a couple missiles off, and then all of a sudden, X-22 is just like, well, I'll just bat this out of here. And Shane goes flying across the driveway, and you can see him in the suit as he's like bouncing across the ground going, well, I'm down. And then
I gotta get out of here.
Incapacitated. Like, he seems fine when he's just like, well, I'm down. And then he's just like,
but yeah.
Whoa, where am I? Like,
yeah. And meanwhile, so all you have left is Brock and Shane, by the way.
Right.
And Brock is useless as usual.
And Peterson's still.
Well, yeah, but we don't know where Peterson is. Peterson's just kind of like roaming around right now. He's just doing his thing, but we do know that he's doing something. Right. So then Shane rolls out of the suit, and Giant X-22 is going to step on him. Brock's like, "Hey, man, get out of the way!" And it's like, why would you? It doesn't make any sense to yell that. And then what the hell happens then?
And Titan gets destroyed.
Hold on, no. Well, Titan gets destroyed. X-22 steps on Titan, which is Titan's the man-made suit, right?
Right. We cut back to the HQ quick, where we get a nice. There's corruptions everywhere. It's corrupting our own database.
Right. So it looks like they're being. So basically, the HQ is getting hacked and destroyed and whatever, right? And there's nothing makes any sense, right?
Right.
Like the rest of this movie.
Yep. Then it's a quick cut.
And then we cut back to, I think Peterson just shows up in an Humvee, right?
In the Humvee, about to kill switch.
He shows up in a Humvee. He picks up Shane. He picks up Brock. So we get the three bros together.
Yep, the three bros together again.
And Peterson's like, I got the kill switch, so we'll kill the barrier so we can get out of here.
Right.
And then
again, I assume they were on an island. But they're escaping in a Humvee, so they're definitely not on an island.
So then they just start driving Humvee. X-22 mechs are shooting, fighting. And then we cut back to the HQ, right?
Yep. And this is when
it gets weird.
This is when our hero, General Dix, shoots Sergeant, doesn't matter, in the back.
Yeah,
just murders him out of the blue.
Just murders him in the blue, and Bill like,
and then tells him, "Compose yourself, soldier. This was always a possible outcome."
Yeah, why would you say that after you shot him? He's dead. He can't compose himself.
Yeah, and then first of all, I have a big gripe about this because he makes it a point to not say this to the sergeant that he just executed, but says it to the mech, to the X-22 as he's about to die. Says, "The government of the United States of America thanks you for your service."
Yes, that was irritating. I agree.
And then everything just kind of blows up anticlimactically.
It's like,
oh wait, I guess this is the end.
If you stay in character, like, I mean, you've got I don't know, that pissed me off too.
Yeah, it was the best. Like, literally, that's the end.
And and I think that is it. Well, no. Well, there is a point where he shoots the other guy, and then he's just like, then asking all these questions yet again. The general's asking all these questions about like what's going on, and it's like, dude, you literally just shot the last guy who has all the answers for all the questions you're asking.
Right.
This is the worst general ever.
Yeah. And then they all blow up.
Yeah, and then X-22 goes to the tower where the general is.
Yep.
And just X-22 just lights it up, right? Well, no, hold on. So they're driving out. I think they get out through the barrier first, right?
Right, and then they close the barrier again.
Close the barrier, and then Peterson's just like, no, hold on. And then he hits the thing, and X-22. So basically, Peterson hacked X-22 and kind of saved the day.
He was a plot device to end the movie, for sure. And then I love the last three lines in the movie that they have in the Humvee. Yeah. So they get out of the Humvee, and we get from Brock, "It was an honor dragging your dead weight around," to Shane. Shane goes, I hope I never see you
See you
again,
again.
to Brock. And then Peterson just goes, I hate to break this tender moment up, but let's get the hell out of here. And that's actually the end of the movie.
And that's it. And then three bros get back in the Humvee, and I think
all the women are dead.
Literally drive off in the sunset. All the women are dead, and that's it.
Yeah. And then it goes computer screen with a loading symbol on it.
Yeah. So they cut.
So I thought that could have been clever. I thought if they were going to go with the loading screen on the computer would have been like maybe the AI system from the X22 had uploaded itself to the Matrix. Like maybe we'll get like a whole franchise out of this. But then they ruined it by having one of the actual robots, like the Mech 4 or something, just like stomp on the computer.
Which makes no sense at all, because at the very end, when the Mech 22 like blows up the tower,
yeah,
they the bubble, the barrier, some kind of barrier,
right,
is closed in, and pretty much it just shows like everything getting like is like a nuclear effect, and like everything just gets toasted inside there.
Yep.
And then they happen to cut back to an empty warehouse with a computer screen which is not attached to anything, saying loading, and a mech.
Yeah, awful.
God, that last 10 minutes was rough getting through. But
so I don't recommend you see this one. I think
at this point, if you've made it this far, I wouldn't say watch this. If you've listened to this entire thing, no, don't watch it.
Yeah. If you loved Transmorphers, you will love Robot Riot.
Yeah, sure.
All three of you, you know who you are.
This is pretty bad. This is, where are we in a scale of what we've seen before this? This is probably.
It's about the middle, I think.
The middle? I'm curious what the bottom is.
Towards the lower end. It's in the middle, but towards the lower end, I think. Not the worst that we've seen.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Or in the meantime, thanks for listening. And we're wrapping the episode up now, so you can tell us who you think.
We're wrapping it up correctly.
Yeah, we're wrapping it up organically this time.
Is that what, okay.
No, this is feeling very organic.
Okay, keep going.
Yeah, so you can follow us on Instagram at It's This Meets That. Message us whatever you think we should post on Instagram, first of all.
Absolutely. Just send us something. I don't care.
Any ideas. Just say hi.
Tell us how much we suck. It's fine.
Yeah, tell us we exist. And we're ITMT Pod on Twitter. We have less, even less content there. So.
Oh yeah, no, it's bad. Twitter's like a wasteland for us. We'll figure it out. Don't worry about it. Just follow us though. There, do it. Make it happen.
What we should do.
But you can also just send us an email at itsthismeetsthat@gmail.com, and all of our episodes are on itsthismeetsthat.com. Go see it. Go listen to it.
Wish it, want it, do it.